Hello everybody, we're going to have a look at Binance Coin on this one, just very briefly, mainly because a lot of us are using the trading bots, and in order to offset as much fee as possible, we like to have as much BNB as we can essentially afford. So one of the things that we're doing now, or we're looking to set up, is a bot that basically generates Binance Coin as profit. But it would be nice to know, the short and long term price predictions of, looking at the charts of what where Binance is going to be. Obviously, the bot is going to be generating Binance Coin for us as profit constantly anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant really, because we're using it to offset fees. Because obviously Binance, if you hold the BNB token in your account, then fees are 25% less if they're paid in Binance. So our bot will be generating Binance Coin for us constantly, regardless of the price, as profit. And obviously, we offset the rest of ours with the link that I've got below, which is 20% off all your trading fees for life. So, we're getting close to 50%. It's about 45% off our fees, so almost half price. But we want to make sure that continues. So it would be nice to know where Binance is going anyway. So let's have a look at this chart. So this is the chart on the weekly. A couple of weeks ago, we tested the center of the Bollinger Band, the 20 weekly moving average, an important one obviously for any asset, and we had a massive move from that. But look at the state of that. The candle actually closed in this tiny little spinning top candle. It's not a very good sign at all. So in many ways you can discount that giant move. You can look at this in itself as what looks to me almost like you could call this redistribution phase. It doesn't look like reaccumulation to me, it looks like redistribution. This is a bit ugly, but it kind of looks a bit like that. So if we go back here on the Ichimoku cloud, there was a strong buy signal back down here, and that would have been a great price to have bought it at if we had noticed that at the time. Obviously all the way up to the top, 114% move, and at this present moment, we would have still been in profit by 66%. But obviously that isn't a great thing when you look at the very top to this bottom. That's a 21% drop in price. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but if this is going to break one way or another, it's going to be relatively nasty. And I think at the moment we are looking like we're going to consolidate a little bit now with Bitcoin. So, as a result, I would expect the Binance token to drop. And if we break down below the 20 weekly moving average, it might get pretty nasty. And actually, we could be looking at Binance token down to this green 50 exponential, or the top of the Ichimoku cloud, roughly around about $23. So, this is short-term analysis on a weekly. So when I'm saying short-term, I'm talking over the next few weeks, maybe months. I'm looking for Binance token to actually drop, maybe significantly. If the market drops, this will drop, and I think this would be the areas that we'll be looking to pick it up at its lowest value, maybe around $23. So that is that. We also have, if we look at this, we also have on the weekly a negative cross take place on the MACD, which isn't good. This doesn't really count for much because this wasn't essentially moving up, nor was it moving down. But that's not a good not a good look for it there either. Now if we go to the daily negative cross, we also have quite low money flow index there. We have had bearish divergence, but that's kind of been cancelled out there. Either way, I think the short term is actually a significant pullback for Binance token, and I think breaking out of this triangle should bring us down to around about that level. Now there's another thing I was going to bring up, which is a fundamental view on the Binance token. So fundamentally, it's actually very strong. A lot of people use Binance, and I'm pretty confident that over the coming 12 months, when more people come into crypto, which they will, the retailers will be flooding in, the Binance token is going to be will be moving up quite dramatically with the rest of the market. Now, it's obviously an incentive to hold Binance token, which is why we're setting up the trading bots and to generate that as profit, and why I'm doing this video in the first place, because I want to hold as much Binance token as possible, not because I think it's going to go up massively, but because it's going to help me save money on my trading fees. So I want to be able to have always have Binance token, and it's that is the sort of one of the fundamental drivers to the actual pricing itself. The more people that use the platform, the more valuable the token will be, because the incentive for everybody to hold it is 25% off your fees. So there's an incentive there. So it stands to reason that any reasonable person who knows about that would actually hold some Binance token. They actually do burn as well, so they do burn their tokens. And if we have a look here, we see the total supply versus the circulating supply. And even though that there is several million of them yet to be distributed by Binance, it's actually getting close to the total supply. Now, when the total supply becomes the circulating supply, I would expect to see a giant jump in price, because at that point Binance are going to have to be starting buying back their tokens. Their tokens will become more valuable as default, because all of them will be circulating. This might not happen anytime soon, as you can see, there's several million of them still yet to be distributed. But when they are, the total supply when that does become the circulating supply, it will increase the value fundamentally. So I am actually thinking on a fundamental basis that despite what this chart looks like right now, when the retailers get back involved again, Binance becomes more popular amongst new people who haven't actually taken on the platform, and they definitely will. That circulating supply and the total supply, the gap will get smaller and smaller and smaller, and we could be looking at a substantial increase in price, 2, maybe even 3, or perhaps maybe even 4x from where we are at this moment in time. And that's, like I say, over a 12-month period. But right this very moment in time, it doesn't look too good at all. Actually, it looks pretty nasty, and I am actually looking for this to break down over the coming weeks to this level, or maybe even a little lower, but to roughly around this level. So we'll go onto the daily to see what this looks like on a long-term trajectory with this massive pitchfork tool that I've got here. So the pitchfork tool shows us roughly where it's gone down to, and the channels that we're looking to move within. So that we have not broken out of this first channel here. This first channel, even if at the end of this bull run at 2022, at the very bottom of that channel, if we were to continue within this channel, 2022 would bring us to around about $45 or so at its lowest level. That's its absolute lowest level. Obviously, if we were to break above these levels, it would be a lot higher than that, and we would be able to move significantly higher. So let's have a look at that. 2022, the bottom of the channel would be $45, top of the channel would be $57, broken into the middle of the channel $70, to the upper areas $82, and to the absolute top $94. All of those areas completely reasonable areas to expect within the next 12 months. And so, like I say, when we break down, and which we probably will, when we break down those areas down there around $23, it'll be a drop in the ocean in 12 months time, where potentially it could be pushing up to perhaps maybe $100. And so that, in a nutshell, is my analysis, short-term and long-term, of the Binance token. And like I say, the only reason I'm really looking at that is because I want to not make loads of money out of it, but I just want to get one of my trading bots to just constantly earn it for me, just to help me save money in the long run. And I'm going to leave it with you there. But like I say, if you want to do the trading bots, there's links below. If you want to save 20% off all your trading fees anyway, there's a link below. And yeah, I hope you have a nice evening. Take it easy.